Hello. Welcome to the Owly Rounds Discovery, the 6th of 6 in Season 1 of the TMNF Competitive Centre event. We have 5 tech maps built by Owly, 7 rounds per map, and it will be the highest points at the end of all of that takes the win. We are starting off somewhere on a map that we're just going to let the intro roll. And then I'll find out what the name of the map is. Non grata, it was right there at the end. We are going to head into spectator mode and watch everybody go through. We need to swap to manual and follow cam. Beautiful. Put usernames on. And we are going to do some commentating. And we're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a fantastic tournament. Every other one of the events has been brilliant. This one should be no less. Proper rounds. The first one that I did, the proper rounds tournament in the Discovery, was absolutely amazing. And this is going to be the same sort of thing, I should imagine. Proper rounds on tech maps. I'm going to be able to actually keep up with people, unlike the super long maps of the other week. And that endurance map last time. So yeah, should be good. Classic warm-up as well, and we will roll right into it. Got some good names, some names that we've seen before. We have got Zexion, a heavy full-speed player, I believe. Levon, who's won one of these before, I think. Jozo, well-known player. Danny's here. Super Kobe, who came well in the last week's run. Roey. Needy, who's done well before. It's going to be good. Go on. Go on, game. You can do it. Yeah, it's been fantastic. I'm loving it. Having so many tournaments constantly. Because consistent tournaments is always what brings more people to the game. Like, there was obviously a lot of people in the first one, and then it dropped off, but you can see that it's been consistent since. So that's fantastic. The game's decided to pick the fastest guy on the map, so that's brilliant. And I don't have the option to drop back. Let's right click down. Needy is well off the back. We can try going in with Levon, who's in a decent place next to Jaffa. Eric is up front. We've got Nix playing as well. And Kraft is well off the front. One of the sign players. And a very nice time at the top. Kraft takes the win by almost a second over Eric. Levon just behind. And end. Nix, Jaffa, Kobe, TJ, Jozo, Juketsu, Needy, Danny, Roey, Dejef, Liquid, Mints. Some good players. A lot of good times as well. A lot of good times on this one. Oh yeah, I forgot about weekend shorts actually. I meant the first one of this, the CCP calendar, advent calendar one. The actual live events. Because yeah, you're going to have hundreds of people playing over a whole weekend, because you've got plenty of time to play and all of that. But having people that can turn up at the event time, always more difficult. Who are we going to try and follow this time then? Let's get on with End. Always gets a decent start. A few players coming in hot there and then having to burn off the speed. End goes a little bit wide there, looking towards the back of this pack. Levon's out in front this time. Kraft's there. Someone's crashed. I think it was Needy. Nix is just off the back. End's had a couple of good corners. Jaffa pulls himself into the picture. Super Kobe just off the back here. Nice turn from End. Levon well up in here now. Kraft has someone to fight, and they are probably still going to be a second. Levon goes wide right at the end. So Kraft takes it by just half a second from End. Up next, Jaffa, Nix, Jozo, Eric, Kobe. Levon comes down in 10th place. That's going to shake things up somewhat. Bubba with the full South Africa car. Is this the default South Africa car? That's amazing. Some of the cars are brilliant in this game and some of them are really rubbish. Like the... What's the one that's basically white and just has the flag on it? Like in the side pods. Can't remember which one that is. It's just like a silver car with the side pods on and that's it. Oh, Bubba's thrown a retirement. Whoops. Happens to the best of us. Either that or probably timed out. On to the next round. Where are we at the minute? We have End in second place. Kraft taking both first rounds. 30 points goes to the winner. Levon goes back up and out in front. We'll stay on end. Kobe just behind. Let's drop back there to Kobe. There we go. Roey's hanging around with a very nice skin. Kraft off the back this time. Levon's still there. Nix is out in front, goes wide in that corner. And it's 2 crashes. We're going to jump up to Levon. Fighting with Kraft. Eric is up at the front. Levon clips that back wheel again. Just too far on the inside, risking that last corner. A lot more than probably needed to. And crashes again. Loses not as many places this time though. Doesn't go from 1st to 10th. Just goes from I think it was actually 2nd to 4th. So doesn't lose too much. Manages to save it. Eric takes the win. Kraft in 2nd place. Followed by Nix. Roey in 6th. Looking for anybody else. Shredder veteran Zadel turns up in 9th place. Mintz has moved up many places. That's going to be helpful. I think as usual we're going to see a fight occurring for those top 10 positions. Bottom half of the top 10. Wow, Danny is the 3rd best ranked player in the world, according to ladder points. Which is, as everybody knows, the best way to measure your skill in this game. I have barely any ladder points because it is almost impossible to find a server that will give you ladder points these days. Especially if you're not actually that good. Because you'll just get beaten by some complete fresh install. And lose all your ladder points. Levon holding up out in front. We're going to drop back. Let's go with... Oh no, Jeff has had a crash. Let's go with Nix then. End's pulling away quite heavily, but we remember End loses a lot in this corner. So Levon's overtaken now. Shark and Super Kobe have caught up. Nix is on a good run out of that corner. But it looks like Levon is going to safe it in the finish. Holds on till the end. End in 2nd place, followed by Shark, Super Kobe, Nix, Roey, TJ, AZ, Liquid Jozo, Danny. Kraft very far down this time. Must have made a mistake. Jaffa holds on for 16th. Let's see what that's done to the overall scores when they update in a second. Kraft now in 2nd place. Eric overtakes by 1 point. Levon not too far behind Kraft. Good fight here. 3 points between Nix and Levon. End's still up there. Nice amount of points for Jaffa. And that fight for the top 10 positions. Look at that. 46, 46, 47, 48, 49. That top 10, bottom half of the top 10 is feisty every single time. We're rolling on with Nix then this time. Let's see what Eric does actually. Because Eric tends to come from the back and just wait for people to crash. Someone's had a go there. I think that was Jozo, who's had it into the wall. Kraft's up front. Eric, nice turn through there. Kraft loses a bit of time, and Nix and End have a fantastic run through there. But then both of those, it's interesting that both of those have a great time there, but then both of them will go wide and lose some time here. Although I think they might have noticed that, and possibly even playing with cars on. With these sort of discovery things, you can play with cars on and get an advantage and find people. But across the line first is Nix, followed by Levon, followed by Eric, Kraft, End, Kobe, TJ, Jaffa. It's going to stay much closer this time. Bubba following up the rear. Doesn't quite get to the finish this time. How many players we got at the minute? That's a good number. Bubba needs to get a finish. Go on, Bubba, you can do it. We believe in Bubba. Jose's up. After, I think, a crash. Jose must be down, because, yeah, 13th place. You're not going to gain places with that. Surprised. Scores dropping all over the place on this one. They're up and they're down. Let's drop in with Danny, who I think we'll be able to stay with the front group for a while, but then drop off the back a little bit further and we'll catch up. We'll have a look what's happening towards the rear of the group and see, trying to see at the minute how many people are just crashing out. Danny hits a crash. Let's get on with Liquid, who's fairly far up the front. But yeah, you can see quite a lot of people losing to crashes rather than pace. And you just see people drop and drop and drop, and then there's the always safe lines, but they lose you a lot of time, but they are guaranteed to get through. And then there's people risking and crashing, and Liquid crashes the corner, and oh, it's an unfortunate one. Always leave it to chance, and you always get something unfortunate. Curse of the commentator with Liquid there. Is Bubba going to get into the finish? Let's go and find out. Bubba has, unfortunately, not made it to the finish. We believe in Bubba being able to finish. Is this actually the Bubba from MKDS? And I believe Mario Kart 64? On Banshee Boardwalk, there's the massive fish that jumps over the boardwalk towards the end of the lap. That fish is called Bubba. Let's get on with Jozo on this run, who should be towards the middle of the pack. We should get another good view of this kind of like thinning out. You see a crash there from someone. Well, it's too chaotic. Liquid goes in too deep, overbrakes himself, has to fall out. Jozo drops it long, just about holds on, but loses a bit of time there, so you can see where people are going to lose times on that sort of thing. Kobe goes a bit deep on that corner. I wish I was good enough at this game to notice when people are doing things right. That's something that definitely is a problem with my commentary. But over the line, Nix is taking the lead and will move up heavily there. Levon in second place and Eric in third. There's a decent number of points. Like 3 points is a decent chunk. So nothing going to swap around here, but everything gets closer because they finished in reverse order of the top three. In fact, the top... Oh no, Kraft is in fourth and in fourth overall. So things staying pretty much the same, but the top gets closer. And outside of that gets further away. And this bottom half of the top 10 again. Every single time, just watch the bottom half of the top 10. It is the best fight. Because these are the people where they'll fall down to the points where you only gain 1 or 2 over the next person. So the gaps towards the end stay super, super close. And one mistake can be catastrophic, but at the same time, it's less catastrophic than if you're fighting for 30 points up at the top. So it can be very much good. Where's my water bottle gone? There it is. Next map up. Look at this beauty. I pretty much never watch the intro animations to maps because I'm normally just smashing through, trying to get to the end of everything. Bubba's retired. No, never mind. Only just joined. It is Path of Paradise, the map. 43-second AT. All these maps are tech. Not sure where Knock was going there. Very close at the top, like I said. Look at that, now it's loaded in. 1 point separating the first, 3 points separating second and third. Down 15 or so points. And then 35 points here down to Jaffa. That is a big difference. That's more than a round. Kraft could lose a round and Jaffa wins it. Kraft not even finish. And they would still not swap places. But only 1 point here. And we only have 20 points? 22 points. Separating all the way down to there. It's going to be tight. It's going to stay tight, I'm telling you. These are the fights. Nice points there for Needy. Who should we lock on to? Let's lock on with Rowie to begin with. Tuxu is going to have a huge advantage on the final map because he has world record and hasn't uploaded it. Rude. Please upload your records. I want to watch them. I will learn from them. How am I supposed to get good if I can't see your and steal your lines? We'll see if the world record possibly even falls in rounds though. You never know. It could be that Tutsu should have uploaded it because the world record falls in rounds. Levon's out the front, as has happened quite often. We're going to get on board with Kraft, who's up, getting mixed in with the fight. Nearly loses it in that corner, and it's a low jump into the finish. Levon takes the win, followed by Shark, followed by Kraft, then Kobe. Where is Nix? Nix is down in 12th place, only picking up 11 points there. Not great. TJ's apparently failed the end. Bubba! No, Bubba! Press F to pay respects. We support every single player, even the ones that are getting picked up by the broom wagon. It's unfortunate. It's a reasonable time limit. It's not the easiest time limit though. Definitely failable by decent players. Of course, we are at the top of the competitive Trackmania Nations Forever experience here. Heading on board with End. We haven't headed on board with End for a little while. Liquid, very fast start here. Wasn't anywhere to be seen towards the end of the last map. Or towards the end of the last round, rather. Let's drop back a little bit. Where's Kobe here? We're in a nice mix. The pack's very deep. You can see people cutting in and out, losing time on certain corners, but gaining it back on the next as they go wide and certain things like that. Hopefully nobody affected by join lag there. Levon takes a very nice line through there, gains a lot of places. Jozo's in a very good position here. TJ hopefully doesn't fail the end this time. Someone's gone wide. I think that was Nix, maybe? Nix maybe going wide again. Bubba might get this finish. No, come on, man. But Eric takes the win as we mourn Bubba's loss. Eric takes the win, followed by Liquid shaking things up. Jozo, then Levon. Kraft just down from that after Super Kobe. Kraft and Super Kobe's fight might actually get somewhere, but Nix is going to be falling faster. Super Kobe is going to have to do quite a lot. You can see the gaps extending. Nix falling fast. Levon and Eric pulling away just a little bit. We're going to get on board with Nix and see what's happening. Can Nix pull it together? Something must be wrong. I think it's been crashes both laps. Because Nix is fast. Like, look at this. Way ahead. But we're going to stay on with them. Because we want to see what happens. We don't want to be flicking around here. Kraft's out in front. Up the back comes Shark. Just dropping into focus. Just on that corner. Nix loses a fair bit of time, but still very much in the mix. Super Kobe's through. I think Nix will be finishing this one out. Eric takes the win, followed by Kraft and Super Kobe. Nix in fourth. Keeping it together on that one. Does lose a little bit. Bubba should make it through this. Go on, man. There we go. Bubba's made it. Absolutely fantastic. Rowie's down in 11th. Jozo in 12th. Levon actually really far down. Only just noticed that Levon is very far down. That's going to shake things up at the top as Eric was able to take the win. So Eric now almost a full win ahead of Levon. That top 10, still spicy. I'm telling you. It's where the points get close. Map is the oldest in the event. It's still a very good map. You could say tech mapping's been solved for a while, but they're still coming up with new stuff. I did play a fair bit of tech at one point and just realised why people just played that and nobody cared about anything else. Being someone who came from TM2 full speed, like mixed styles existing in TM2. My first properly caring about Trackmania and like knowing what I was doing rather than just being a little kid and playing whatever was the beta season of TMGL in TM2. So those styles of maps are like pure competitive, and then I went back to tech many years later. How are we doing on the overall? Eric is now up. Levon holding steady in that second place. Kraft is catching up to Levon a little bit though. Nick's falling down somewhat. Kobe's in a decent place. End quite far behind Kobe. Kobe kind of in a chunk on their own. Let's drop in with Kobe and see what they're going to do about being a chunk. Are they going to drop down or are they going to move up? Could be interesting. TJ in there to spoil someone's fun. Remember that every player in between two people... Massive sneeze. Every player in between two people fighting out for the top is another set of points lost. So it can be very important. Eric taking the win though, extending their lead no matter what. Nix is in second place. Levon, Super Kobe up in there. Kraft is down in fifth. So Levon extending the lead. And like I said, Super Kobe's getting in there. And that's an extra 2 points to Levon. Over Nix. Or over Kraft. That's the one. Over Nix and Kraft, really. But looks like Super Kobe wants to pull away from End rather than go back towards them. We will hop on board with Taketsu. Haven't been hopped on board with them yet. Very nice skin. Lions and FNX. Just to the back of this main group. Catching in the draft. Someone's dropped there. Didn't quite catch the name as they went out of frame. Nice bomb up from Jozo, but it loses a lot of speed, having to slide a lot harder. Nice turn there. Eric and Nix are absolutely inseparable right at the front. I'm not sure who's going to take it, but End comes in third. Slightly dodgy finish by Tasetsu. Bubba is going to get a finish here, I should think. Oh, come on, man. Get in, Dead Turtle. You know how to do it. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. Nix takes the win though, pushing them back up. After a few bad rounds at the start of this, they seem to be getting the hang of it right towards the end. I'm not sure what round we're on at the minute, but doing well. Eric's pulling away more from Levon, but Levon and Nix get quite close to each other. Kraft's coming up, and Super Kobe, again, getting closer, getting closer. Got a call of no slide map from Danny, so let's see how good your no slides are. This is, of course, Danny from... shit. Not Take That. Why am I thinking Take... McFly. This is Danny from McFly. Clearly. Only because that guy looks good in a suit, and this guy's got someone in a suit as the profile picture. Oh, Jaffa's dropped. Jaffa has dropped and rejoined. That's going to do something to the bottom half of that top 10. Hopefully the points get given back. They do. Eric... in second place, Kraft taking the win. The gap between Eric and Levon widens, but Levon manages to extend the gap. Look at that. 1, 2, well, the 2, 3, 4 is the 1, 2, 3 of the overall. Kraft moves up, overtakes Nix by 1 point going into this next section. And the bottom half of the top 10 remains close. 3 points separating End and TJ. Jozo a fair bit down, but not too far ahead. Only 9 points ahead of Mintz, who is only 10 points ahead of Jaffa, who's 4 points ahead of Rowie. Sharks at a Deddy? Nice. Let's take a look. What is the next map we have coming to us? Fairly simple in the scenery. Apparently no floor. Actual no floor? Okay, the floor's been moved up. I see. This is interesting. Because that means that you can just fall straight out of the world. Let's take a look. A few flowing turns. We're going to see much of the same ideas in these maps. But this one having grass moved up. Grass tech. Always fun. There's a reason they added it as a proper block type in the newer game. A lot of right angled turns and a lot of long held drifts that you feel like you could almost get out of. Floor is water that's set invisible in TM Unlimited, so you will actually fall off. Nice. Welcome to Zerator Cup. This isn't even close to Zerator. There's no cacti. Show me a cacti. Before I will allow it to be Zerator. I have a theory that Zerator's the one who asked for reactors and was like, if I just leave the reactor boost in. That's my French accent. €0 and a handshake, but Owly will pay for the plane ticket to go and give you that handshake. Kobe doing well. Wasn't expecting that. Normally Kobe more towards the back and comes good towards the end. Quite consistent player, so good to follow for this sort of section. Rowie having a good run. Levon looking to take some places back on Eric. Eric has a little bit of a wobble in the last corner, but holds it together, coming in second. Kobe in third, Kraft in fourth, Rowie fifth, then End, TJ, Nix falling down a little bit, only in eighth. Needy, Jaffa, Danny, Zection, Jozo, Dej. Can't read that. And Zaddle. So Levon moves up slightly closer. Eric's still quite heavily ahead. I don't think Eric has had a bad game yet, or a bad round. And that really shows, you know, almost two wins ahead. Just not having a bad round and losing chunks of points is really important here. Everybody else has, and then they've had to make up for it. Levon just set the world record on this map. Nice. What was world record? Because I assume that Eric also set world record. Or beat world record. Because that is close. Eric pulling ahead and in a good position here. We'll drop back to TJ. Who's holding well through the finish. Gets a little bit of a wobble, unfortunately. But very nicely done. Eric, massive world record there. Nix also beating the world record. 41.81 was the world record. Oh, but that's only 0.04 faster than your AT. That's expected to fall, really, isn't it? If something's only slightly faster than the AT. Massive times, though. Absolutely smashing this world record up. Hopefully some of them upload their times. Where are we going this time? Let's jump on board with Kraft. Had a bit of a bad start. I don't think he crashed, but definitely had to release at the back end there. The auto drifts from the grass. Some people get them, some people don't. And if you haven't seen this map before, it might be difficult to learn. The speed that people fast learn in these competitions, though, always astounds me. I'm not particularly good at fast learning, even in the games that I'm good at. But some of these guys are fantastic. And across the line, TJ takes a win, followed by Rowie. That's going to shake some things up. And Eric has had the first poor run of their game, I think. Only in 8th place just here, but Kobe just behind. So Kobe not gaining anything on Kraft on this one at all. Jaffa making moves to try and make up for that missed round and overtake Jozo into that top 10 and stay away from Needy to maintain 10th place. End and TJ super close after that round, with TJ taking the win. Let's hop on with Rowie. Yeah, there's been every round's a world record here. TJ smashing it out the park. Everybody doing just fantastic. It's what happens sometimes with these maps though. You get the best players on them and the world records immediately fall. It's happened every week with the Crab Cups that I've been running, which are 20-minute hunts per map. And every time world records fall, pretty much. There's only been a couple of times where they don't. Just 20 minutes with the best players in the world really trying, and world records can fall. Levon doesn't break the world record actually, posts a 2nd place time. Slightly calming down things now. Where is Eric? Eric way off the pace on this one, so Levon going to be gaining some points here and catching up. Nix stays close to Levon. Kraft loses out a little bit. The gap's widening in every section, even that top 10 that stays together so well normally. The problem can go both, well, problem and solution with these maps being so tight between different people. One mistake can cost you a lot of points, so not making mistakes in tech is much more important than generally just being fast. But at the same time, if you're not fast, you're going to lose a lot of places. Is it worth it? Sometimes you've got to push and sometimes you've got to not, and different players know what they've got to do. Different players know where to safe, where to push, and what they need to do. Eric backs up a bad run with a great one and takes the top spot with a very nice time, 0.69. Lower drove into a wall apparently, twice. Let's get on board with somebody else. Let's hop on board with Nix, who is out front, taking a wide line into that. A lot of speed carried. Still carrying some of that speed, I think. Just looks a little bit faster than everybody else around them. Maybe 1 or 2 kilometers an hour for quite a little while there. But it was very wide. Levon's out in front, pursued by Shark and Kraft. Super close up. End's not too far off the back. Kraft loses a little bit of time there. End just about goes into that wall. Nick's looking to come 4th. I'm not sure. Absolutely overlapping. What's the difference between Eric and Levon? It is 0.01. A world record from 3 players there. Breaking the previous world record. Top 3. Oh no. I've misread it. Never mind. Only the top 2 breaking the world record, but by 0.01. Absolute incredible scenes just there. Let's follow on with Taketsu, who seemed to have a decent run on the last round. Fighting it out in this pack. It's interesting how it's always, I think it's the camera angle, it always looks like you're at the back of the pack. It doesn't matter who you pick, and then everybody in front looks like they're super tight in the pack. It's very impressive. There's a fight going on. A couple of players taking it super tight. I'm surprised nobody crashed there. They went that tight. Nix is up there to be taking points. Someone's hit it into a wall. Kraft takes the win, followed by Nix. Rowie in 3rd. Fast Player in 4th. Levon, then Taketsu. Had a good run in 5th. Zadel, Nock, Danny, Rainey, Jaffa. Eric, again, having not a great run. After a long time of having very rare low rankings, Eric is having a few bad runs on this map. It's not too bad though. They should be able to keep this lead. And we go on to the next map. And a drink while we wait and watch the intro. Okay, a lot of verticality to this map. We'll see how that actually comes as it's played out, because some vertical maps have drops like this, some vertical maps just slowly drop themselves around places, and some have big drops like this, and a lot of verticality. Will we be going back up very fast in a jump or anything? Will be interesting to see. I think this is much different to the rest of the maps. Grass Tech is quite a different technique. It looks very much the same, but this with the gravity, if you've never seen this game played at a high level before, or you've never played it so much, the gravity is really incredible. How much difference it is to be going down a hill versus up a hill drifting. Completely different timings, and not just because of the speed. So a lot of verticality to this map, and a very tight finish. What is world record as we go into this map? There are no Deddy records on this, on Midgar. 43.23. And the overall rankings are Shark from Levon by about 25 points. 35 points. Nix following by 20 points. Give me back. Then Kraft, Super Kobe, End, TJ, Rowie, Jaffa, who we're going to hop on with. Jozo, Needy, Tuketsu, Danny, Fast, Zadel, Mints. That's your top 16 in the first page. And there's the rest of them. Run with Jaffa. Big drop. Everybody stays together. You can see some people getting a better landing than others. Some will be able to work out the line quicker than others. Sometimes it's better to overturn and just be facing the correct direction. Sometimes it's better to take the speed and take the corner and not drift at all. Rainy going a little bit wide on that corner, has to release and back off, loses a lot of speed. Eric coming up the back here. Super Kobe out in front at the minute, pursued by End. Rowie's in a good place. End clips a corner. Eric pulling up very nicely, just clean through these normal tech sections. So Eric doing very well to catch up. I think even going to take the win. Comes in second place, tied. What on earth is that finish position? Kobe ties with Eric. Kraft in third place by 0.01. 0.42 actually to Jaffa. Big difference there. Levon just behind that. Nix. Incredible. Scenes of those top three. But the comeback from Eric was incredible as well. Watching that happen, madness. I believe tiebreakers on this game are set. Let's watch Eric, because he might come from the back. I know, he's had a better start. Someone's crashed it. I believe tiebreakers are done by the order in which you load into the server. So the last person to join the server gets in. Oh, Eric's skin's loaded. That's quite nice of it. Final at this point in the game. Very nice from Levon. Nix coming up through the back. But Eric, beautiful lines through here. Taking these turns a little bit wide. Levon gets up on the inside. Beautiful finishing line from Levon. Secures the victory with Nix in third. Kobe in fourth. Graf only slightly behind. Jozo just ahead, just behind that. Jaffa, TJ, Fast, End, Zadel, Danny, Rowie, Taketsu, Rainy, Knock. Very nice times from everybody. Points staying together in certain places. But a lot of big gaps in other places. We have a big gap now at the top between Eric and Levon. Almost a whole round between Levon and Nix, but Nix and Kraft are tied. And a huge gap to Super Kobe. And a good chunk to End. There's still a lot to play for though. One bad map could ruin your chances. And for some people, one bad run could ruin their chances. Let's check out the Kraft Nix fight here. Nix is slightly further behind. Super Kobe's touched a wall. Jaffa's up in a good position, has a nice turn there. Nix carrying more speed a little bit through there. Kraft's going to break the tie, coming in second place, following Eric. Levon in third, then Jaffa, Nix, Kobe, and Jozo, Rowie. Jozo's been getting up in the mix quite often, but then having some bad rounds. It's interesting to see, because it does mean that it's spreading certain people's points out a little bit. But the tie broken. Eric over 600 points now. Let's hop on board with... Ooh, let's hop on board with... Oh no, Rowie's crashed. Let's hop on board... No, Jeff has gone. Danny? You in? Nix? How are you doing? You're in a good place. Who's just lost it? I didn't have a chance to read all the names and figure out where people were, but someone's put it into a wall. Eric out in front, trying to dominate this round. Nix is up the inside of Levon, but Levon's got more speed coming round the corner, so stays ahead. Eric, followed by Kraft, followed by Levon, and Nix. End is up there. Super Kobe is hanging around. Zaddle takes a surprising 7th place, I have to say, coming from 15th overall. Let's jump on with Zaddle for this run. Can they back it up? 2 runs in a row. Looks like they're going to be coming from the back, so we might be getting a better view here, actually, of what's going on. Danny doing decently. Runs a little bit wide here. Rainy's gone wide on the outside there. Has to release. Taketsu we're going to jump on board with. Now, where you gone? There you are. Trying to stay at the back of this pack as we see Eric taking on the front, chased by Kraft, and Kraft is right at the front. TJ's at the back of this group. Jozo is in a good place. The 3 out the front are far and away out the front. You can see the gaps in the time here. So close. 0.96, 0.99, 0.06, and then 0.70. The 3 at the front are separated by a tyre. As in, one of them's wearing a tie and the other one isn't. And that's the difference. It's like Yogi Bear style. It's wacky races. The guy in the Arkansas Chuggabug with his bear with the tie. And the tie goes over the line first. It's that. On board with Super Kobe now, though. Levon takes the lead of this one quite early on. We've seen Kraft has a good section coming up just after this turnaround and drop down. Who's just put it into a wall? I think that was Jaffa. Nix is having a good run. Needs to be fighting it with Kraft, but Kraft seems to be having a good one on this map. Levon's got the best end out of anybody I've seen so far. TJ looks to have taken it from Nix right on the line. And that's going to mix things up a little bit in the overall, actually. That is going to put Kraft a lot closer, a lot further away from Nix. Levon gains a tiny bit on Eric. Keeping it fair though, keeping it honest. It's not completely a runaway. Eric's been very consistent up at the front. End is now out in front. A rare sighting. I was not expecting that when I clicked on him. TJ now in the good part of the group. Rowie doing fairly well holding up here. Looks like Levon taking the place at the front. End lost the lead just for now. Eric taking a commanding lead through this corner. Where's Levon gone? Levon's hit a wall, I think. Can't see him for anything. Kraft in second place. Jaffa's going to take third, or will End just get in? End coming in 7th. Must have had a really strange end there. Yeah, because they were coming in fast. What do your overall scores look like? Eric is up into the 700s on 701. Levon just around 50 points behind. Kraft very close to Levon now. They're 40 points ahead of Nix. Super Kobe almost 100 points behind Nix. So there is your massive gap that we're seeing between that top 4. We often see it in these tournaments that the top 4 sort of run away with it. And I can't say that it's because of the point system. There isn't any huge drop-off. But for some reason, there's always 4 players head and shoulders above the rest, and a big gap between them on the points. I think it's the difference between, it just happens to be 4 people, but it's very much the difference between having bad rounds and having complete, like, lost it rounds, while also being 4 players that really win the majority of the rounds, and then not having any particularly bad rounds. You know, always scoring in the upper double digits, like 15s, and so even on a bad round is 15, because your opponent will get 30. Again, a map with a bit of verticality. We have apparently had 3 maps with world records set on them. So, absolutely fantastic work from everybody. Keep smashing the world records and make sure you upload them. Ooh, that's going to be a tricky finish. I can see a lot of things going wrong in the end here, because you can very well take the inside line and save a lot of time on that jump. Or you can, but you could also be too risky. It's probably 0.1 across the bar. Anyone want to comment on that estimate? 0.1 between the tight inside line and being much further out on the outside. Of course, it is your first tyre across the line. As soon as the tyre manages to get across, that's when the time is. So rotating your car in the air can actually help. I've seen it done on a world record. Rotating the car is an important strategy. We'll be following TJ for this first round. Some players going on the inside, some on the outside. Looked to be the inside after a while fell off. Kraft drops a little bit there. Taketsu's out front. Shark, Eric having a good run. Levon's in a decent place as well. Nix, End, Rowie. All the normal guys are up the front, though Kraft has lost a little bit. And I think we're missing Super Kobe from this fight right now. Kraft having a brilliant run. Look at this, risking every single corner. It's so incredible to see when people just have to risk, and they do, because it's do or die. TJ hitting the wall, unfortunately losing a couple of places there. Fantastic run at the end there from Kraft. But yeah, you see them risking everything, because if you don't risk, you're going to lose a load of points. If you risk and crash, you're going to lose a load of points. But what if you don't crash? Whereas if you're out at the front, there's no need to risk. And it's better to not risk for 3 points if you're in second place. Let's get on board with Kraft and see how they do this time. Curse the commentator doesn't strike every time. Inside line looking faster. Last time we saw everybody go inside, losing a lot of speed in a lot of places. Seems to have actually happened again this time. Kraft holding up with some good turns though. Holding it into this top 4. If Levon's not around this, Levon's going to be losing a lot of points being outside of this group with that top 4. And I think Levon needs them. Yeah, Levon actually fighting with Kraft really here. So Kraft could do with the best result possible after losing that last one. Nix goes a little bit deep, loses some time. Kraft going to take a third. Where is Levon in 6th place? What are the fights that are happening that we need to watch out for? We have Levon versus Kraft for 2nd and 3rd place. Nix is kind of out of it. Super Kobe's not going to be overtaking, but probably won't be overtaken by End. Rowie and Jaffa could be interesting if someone makes a mistake. But it would rely on someone making a mistake. Taketsu and Danny is going to be an interesting one, though. Kraft has an early crash on the first drop down. Now has to make things up. Let's see how it goes. Taketsu goes wide. Jaffa loses some speed. Zadel has a bad turn. Someone's crashed there. Levon's doing well. Eric leads everybody. End is in a good position. They all go right out to the outside, touching the barriers, bending the tape, as we say in cyclocross. Levon to the front. Doesn't quite manage to pip Nix at the end there. Eric with an absolutely outstanding run, over half a second faster than the second place time. Massive time there from Eric. Levon in third place pushes them slightly further ahead of Kraft, who made a bit of a mistake, and Eric pushing ahead again, just those little points. Nix versus Kraft could actually come to it. It's 30 points, so it's going to have to be a washout from Kraft. Get in with Nix, who's a little bit further down. I don't know where. End in a good position. Nice. Okay, so Taketsu has a 44.8 here. 44.80. So not quite a world record by Shark just yet, but I could imagine it happening. Kobe out in front. Look at that line. Absolutely beautiful. Jaffa hits the wall. Kraft's gone down. That could have dire consequences on the overall. Levon, what's your finishing position going to be? Second place. Absolutely fantastic. Super Kobe takes the win. Eric in fourth. Nix in fifth. That's going to do something to the overall as Kraft is down in 11th place. Levon is very much pulling ahead here. Nix pulling up, getting even closer. I don't know if there's enough rounds left. It's going to be interesting to see. We are on with End. End going to be dropping. Let's head over to Jaffa, who is fighting a little bit with Rowie. It's possible. I don't know if there's enough rounds left, though. But look at that extra group running out the front. It seems Taketsu might have a fast time, but doesn't seem to have the rounds pace. So they're definitely fast, but can't do it consistently. Jaffa goes on the inside. It's a risky strategy. It doesn't pay off quite as well as I think they would have hoped, but it's not bad at all. Eric going to take the win, followed by Levon, Jozo, Kraft, TJ, Jaffa, Rowie, Kobe, End, Zadel, Fast, Nix, Rainy, Danny, Taketsu. Fantastic runs from everybody on the server. Eric massively pulling away from it right now. Kraft's in a good position. Levon should hold on to this, I would have thought, unless an absolute mare happens. But Kraft's not been having the greatest runs so far. Jaffa in a good position, takes the inside, but doesn't carry as much speed. So you do lose a bit on the exit there. Jaffa has a crash. We're going to get on board. Jaffa somehow saved it. We all saw that crash, right? Let's get on board with Taketsu, the world record holder, still at the minute by 0.03 over Eric's time. Zadel drops off the back. We're going to have to get on board with Jozo, who's having a good run in these rounds, keeping it together, staying with the front pack just about. Eric out in front by the looks of things, looking to consolidate that lead. Levon tight behind. Super Kobe managing to get in between Kraft and Levon, which is helpful for Levon, for sure. Kraft won't be happy about that. Super Kobe completely in no man's land. Not going to catch Nix. Not going to get caught by End. And Mr. Happy Drive will not quite make it to the finish. A not so happy occurrence. Will Eric make it to 100 points above Levon? It's possible. But Levon's been pushing. Levon's been pushing well, in fact. We will jump on board with Levon for a little bit of the start, just until we get to that point where the groups split and we want to be at the back of the group. Looking to go now with Nix, who's further towards the back of the group. Nice turn there. Taketsu clips an edge. End in a good position. Rowie is having a nice one here. Up further than they normally have been on this map. Levon, I think, out in front right now. Sharks in third. Eric in third. Kraft now takes to the lead. End is in fourth place. Jozo having a flyer. Doesn't quite get that corner just right. Kraft hits a wall after taking the lead. Oh, risking it for everything. But Eric has an unfortunate crash right at the end. Must have clipped it and missed the finish. Rowie seems to have done the same, having to have a respawn. That's going to do something to some points in the overall. Points updated. Eric with 50 points. Is that the last map? I think it is. Yep, that is, because Smorgasbord is on the trial. GG, thank you for playing. Congratulations to Eric for taking it from Levon, Sign, Nix, Super Kobe. I need to get some screenshots. Come on, load quick before everyone can leave. Should have just flicked to the second page before everything loaded. Go, go, go. That's your results, I guess. There's not enough people. But there you... Oops. There you go. Eric takes it from Levon, from Kraft, Nix, Super Kobe, End, TJ, Rowie, Jaffa, Jozo rolls out your top 10, then Taketsu, Danny, Zaddle, whatever that says. Phil? I think that says Phil. Needy, Rainy in your top 16. That's your first page. Rolling on Mince, who had some great runs. Liquid, who had some fantastic runs but just couldn't keep it consistent up there. Zection is still in there. Dej, Mania, Bubba manages to get some finishes. Knock, Mr. Happy Drive did get some finishes. Brick, Banana Apple. Thank you to Owly for organising this. Thank you to Arian for organising a lot more of these competitions. We're going to take a break before Season 2, but hopefully I will be back because I've absolutely loved commentating these. Thank you to the opportunity to commentate these. It was a random thing that I just decided to do because I was having a terrible time playing one day, and I love commentating. Thank you very, very much, and I will see you in the next season of all of this. Or if you want to check everything else out, like, comment and subscribe and all of that bollocks. But if you want to check out the other stuff I do, I sometimes play Trackmania, but I also do commentary for other fast racing games such as Xenotic Defrag and Quake 3 Defrag and Momentum Mod Defrag, and possibly in the future Surfy type stuff as well if anything happens that I can commentate, blah 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 blah. Parkour racing games. Check all of my stuff out, preferably. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next season or the next thing that you watch.